Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, my name is Kayla Quintana. I am the head of marketing for Fairfax Connector here at FCDOT. We are recording this particular session. It will be recorded and transcribed and posted to our website for other individuals in the community who would be interested in learning more about the presentation today. I just want to start off with a little bit of business so that we all know and know what we're doing and can move forward together. So we are proposing this business community lunch and learn to discuss the proposed Fairfax Connector December 7th, 2024 service changes and proposed bus fare increase for July 1, 2024. This afternoon, once the presentation is completed, we will begin the question and answer portion in which participants will ask their questions aloud. The chat feature has been disabled for this meeting, so we will not be taking written questions. We also encourage you to submit your comments today, for today's meeting using the online survey, online feedback form, written feedback, or phone call. Again, we'll have information on the various ways you can provide comments at the end of the presentation. Kyle, would you like to introduce yourself and begin the presentation?
Yes, thank you, Kayla. My name is Kyle Davis. I'm a transportation planner with the Fairfax County Department of Transportation, and I will be delivering the presentation along with my colleague Christian Basai, will be delivering the presentation on the December 2024 service changes, which, as Kayla said, includes CCVT Phase 2, minor service changes, as well as the fare increase scheduled for July 1st. Without further ado, let's get started. Here's the agenda for today. We'll start off with an introduction, provide a timeline and overview for CCVT, the Centreville, Chantilly, Vienna, Tysons plan. We'll discuss the other service changes, fare analysis, Title VI, next steps, and Q&A. So as I said before, the December 2024 service changes include the second phase of the Centreville, Chantilly, Vienna, Tysons plans, or CCVT as we call it. It consists of two new routes, Route 610 and 670, as well as several other service changes. An overview of what the service changes are. As you can see, there are a number of routes that are affected, including routes 335, 351, 352, the aforementioned new route 610 and 670, and the 921. I won't go over every detail here, but as you can see here, there are a number of changes with regards to frequency and the span of service. That is to say, how often the bus comes, as well as the span of service, which is how long the bus operates. So for example, Route 335 will now operate from 6 a.m. to 9:51 a.m. and again from 2:51 p.m. to 6:44 p.m. So that's what we mean when we say span of service. And we'll get into further details later on in the presentation, but this just provides an overview of what the service changes look like and also the justification for the service changes. So CCVT Phase 2, here's a timeline starting around 2020 and lasting through 2022. We engaged in service analysis, route development, and the initial round of public input. For spring of 2024, which is right now, we are conducting our final round of public meetings and input. Over the course of the spring and summer of this year, we will engage in service refinement. That will be based on the feedback that we receive over the course of this round of public meetings and input. That is input from both the survey as well as today, and for the public presentation on Thursday. We'll be seeking approval from the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors sometime in the summer or autumn of 2024. Right now, we're tentatively targeting September. And then for December, in the winter of 2024-25, we'll be looking at implementation of the service changes, assuming that it is approved by the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. So without further ado, I will turn the presentation over to my colleague, Christian Basai.
Thank you, Carl. Good afternoon. My name is Christian Basai. I'm part of the planning team at Fairfax County Department of Transportation. As Carl mentioned, I will go over some of the details of the service changes. As part of the Centreville, Chantilly, Vienna, Tysons Phase 2 service changes, we have two new routes. And the first one is Route 610. We are very excited to introduce this new route to you. It will provide a link between George Mason University, Fairfax County Government Center, Route 29, and Centreville. Route 610 will operate all day, 6 days a week, with weekday service from 5:30 a.m. to 10:21 p.m. and will operate every 30 minutes during rush hour and every hour during non-rush hour. On Saturday, it will operate from 7 a.m. to 7:51 p.m. every hour, and there will be no service on Sunday. There will be opportunities to transfer to other routes at Centreville, Stone Park, and Ride, such as Route 660 in the direction of Tysons, or 662 to Vienna Metro Station, or 901 to Herndon Metro Station, and to many more. Also, there will be opportunities to transfer at Stringfellow Road Park and Ride, to Connector Route 663 in the direction of Vienna Metro Station, to Route 697 to DC, or to Route 698 to the Pentagon, and to many more. Finally, Route 610 will serve the new Monument Drive Park and Ride Transit Center, where you will have over 820 parking spaces available at no cost to you, with transfer available at Monument Drive to over 15 routes, such as Connector Route 699 to downtown DC, 671 to Vienna and Dunloring Metro Station, or to Metro bus routes 1C and 2B. In addition to the connectivity and opportunities for transfer on the new Route 610, within a quarter of a mile of walking distance, Route 610 will serve one school, 4 activity centers. Activity centers are defined a concentration of places of employment, shopping, recreational, and socializing. It will also serve 2 colleges, 7 park and ride lots, and a combination of 8 government, community, and human services center. Next. The next route is Route 670. This is also a new route. It is a cross-county route that will operate during peak hours between Chantilly and the Franconia-Springfield Metro Station in Vienna, via the Monument Drive Park and Ride Transit Center and Vienna Metro Station. Route 670 will operate Monday through Friday only from 5 a.m. to 9:52 a.m. and then from 3:20 p.m. through 7:57 p.m. The bus will come every 30 minutes during rush hour, with no service during non-rush hour and weekend. Route 670 will offer opportunities to transfer to other connector routes and Metro bus routes, as well as Q routes and Metro rail lines. For instance, at Monument Drive Park and Ride Transit Center, you will be able to transfer to over 11 connector routes, including Route 660 and 699, or to 2 Metro bus routes, 1C and 2B. At Vienna Metro Station, there will be opportunity to transfer to routes such as Connector 663, 671, 698, and to many more, or to Metro bus routes 1A, 2B, 29, and to Q routes Green and Gold. Furthermore, at Franconia-Springfield, transfer will be available to over 17 connector routes and to the Metro Blue Line. Finally, Route 670 will serve several facilities within a quarter of a mile of walking distance, and those facilities are 2 Metro Rail stations, 5 activity center, 3 park and ride lots, and 4 government/community/human services centers. And now we are going to cover the additional service changes outside of the CCVT Phase 2 changes. And we will start with Route 335. This route currently operates with service to Fort Belvoir, but due to operational issues, the route is being realigned. And as part of the changes, there will be a minor change to the schedule. It will continue to operate weekday service only with the same start time at 6 a.m., but the end time is changed to 9:30 a.m. in the morning. And in the afternoon, the route service is from 2:50 p.m. till 6:50 p.m. The bus will come every 20 to 40 minutes during rush hour, and there is no service during non-rush hour or weekend. Route 335 will continue to offer opportunities to transfer to other connector routes at Franconia-Springfield, to connect to OmniRide Prince William Metro Express, to Metro Rail Blue Line and the VRE, and also to transfer to Metrobus Rex on Richmond Highway. Within a quarter-mile distance, Route 335 will serve 1 Metro Rail, 3 activity centers, 1 hospital, and 2 park and ride lots. The next route is Route 351. Similar to Route 335, Route 351 is being realigned to address operational issues. Route 351 will maintain service on weekdays only from 6:30 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. and from 2:35 p.m. till 5:55 p.m. And it will operate every 20 to 25 minutes during rush hour only. Transfer to other connector routes will still be optional at Franconia-Springfield, as well as to the Metro Rail and the VRE. And within a quarter of a mile of a walking distance, it serves 1 Metro Rail station, 2 activity centers, 1 college, and 1 park and ride. And the next route is Route 352. Just like Route 351, Route 352 is also being realigned to address operational issues. Service is maintained to weekdays only from 10:35 a.m. till 2:35 p.m. and it will operate every 15 to 20 minutes during non-rush hour only. Transfer to other connector routes will still be optional at Franconia-Springfield, as well as to the Metro Rail and the VRE. And within a quarter mile of walking distance, it will serve 1 Metro Rail station, 1 activity center, 1 college, and 2 park and ride. Finally, we will conclude with Route 321. This route was implemented during the Western Herndon service changes back in November of 2022. And as part of the December 2024 service changes, Route 921 run time will be adjusted to improve frequency and reliability. It will continue to operate 7 days a week with weekday service from 7:20 a.m. till 7:45 p.m. every 40 minutes during rush hour and every 30 minutes during non-rush hour. Weekend service is from 7:15 a.m. till 7:40 p.m. and the route will operate every 30 minutes on weekend. Opportunities for transfer to connector route and the service, then the Silver Line are still available. Within a quarter of a mile of walking distance, Route 921 will continue to serve 1 school, 1 Metro Rail station, 3 activity centers, a park and ride, and 2 community/human services center. Now that we have gone over the route profile, I will pass it on to Carl to cover the remaining part of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Now we'll talk about the fare analysis. So just to give you an overview, WMATA faces a significant budget shortfall in fiscal year 2025, which starts on July 1, 2024. Fare increases are proposed starting on that date. As a policy, Fairfax Connector matches fares with Metro Bus, and fare equity analysis was completed. Also, Route 599 was adjusted to match other Fairfax Connector Express bus route fares. Here's a fare chart that shows what the fare increase would look like under the current scenario, which is a 12.5% increase in fares. So, for example, for local bus, the $2 fare would increase to $2.25. The current reduced fare for seniors and disabled riders would go from $1 to $1.10. For the express bus, the fare would go from $4.25 to $4.80. Again, for the reduced fare, that would go from $2.10 to $2.40. And for the circulator, the fare would go from 50 cents to 55 cents. And other fare products are shown here. I won't go through every single one, but this just gives you an idea of what the fare increases would look like for Fairfax Connector as well as Metro Bus. We analyzed the fare increases to determine if there was a disparate impact or disproportionate burden, or DIDB, and we could not identify any DIDB with any of these fare increases. Now we'll get into Title VI. FCDOT conducted a fare equity analysis as part of Title VI requirements. Several routes were identified as meeting the major service change threshold per the Title VI requirements. Those include routes 351, 352, 610, 670, and 921. The disparate impact and disproportionate burden analysis were conducted. No DI or DB was identified for the proposed service changes or the fare changes. Routes 610 and 670 will improve connectivity between the Chantilly, Centreville, Vienna, and Franconia areas. This Title VI analysis chart simply shows the results of our analysis. As I said before, major service changes were identified with most of the routes proposed for the proposed for the December 2024 service changes. However, no DI or DB was identified. Now let's talk about next steps. We're currently in our final public meetings. The next step in the process will be service refinement and changes, which will happen over the course of the spring and summer. We're anticipating approval from the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors sometime in the summer or autumn of 2024, with service implementation currently slated for December. And now I will turn it back over to Kayla.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you so much. Now we'd like to open the meeting for questions and comments, and here are the instructions. Please raise your hand located at the top of your screen next to the three dots. The moderator, which is me, will enable your microphone and call on you to ask your question. Please unmute yourself when your name is called and ask your question or provide your comment. Please mute yourself after you have asked your question. If you are on the phone, press *5 to raise your hand, and when you are called upon by your phone number, press *6 to unmute. After you are finished, please push *6 to mute yourself. So I already see a hand up. It looks like, hang on one second. All right. Paul Hertel, let's go ahead, and I've unmuted you, so go ahead and ask your question, sir.
Thank you for the presentation. I just have some quick comments and this is based on looking at the maps, so I might be wrong, so forgive me. But on 335, it looks like you're eliminating the access to Defense Logistics Agency and an intelligence agency that are located up the hill from 236, and that is very unfortunate. I would certainly encourage you, because there's no access from DLA and that down to 236. There are no sidewalks or anything, so I would certainly encourage you to keep that, because otherwise 330 DLA, and as far as I can see, and do not have any service, and that's a big agency. On the others, I have some. On the 351, it's supposed to be circulated, but what I can see is if you're at the Northern Virginia Community College, you then have to circulate all the way around to get to the metro instead of going straight to, and that is undesirable. 352, same issue, and I believe that the new ones, I thought those were good routes, so thank you for that. But anyway, that's my those are my comments. But specifically 335, if there are no other venues for people from Defense Logistics Agency and the intelligence agency that are located up there, I would certainly urge you to rethink that proposal. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment. We appreciate you. providing that feedback. Kyle, were you able to think of any responses to the questions, or would you like more time to research and respond at a later date?
Well, those are happening those are happening due to closures at the Kingman Gate, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
that's what the situation is there.
Yeah, that's right. We've had that detour because they happened to close that gate, and we've had that in place for quite some time. So, I believe, Ed, did you have your question, your hand up to respond as well?
Just for
Thanks,
the
Ed.
other one, there's alternative service to DLA from Franconia-Springfield Metro on the 334, and some of the other areas within the northern areas are served by the REX. So no, there might be an odd stop where it's going to be a longer distance, but again, as Kyle said, we can't really help, but otherwise it'll be a very costly and inefficient detour to try to serve. I mean, again, we have the 334 that provides service to the DLA. The 171 also provides service to the DLA. So we can't, the only reason why the 335 is even near there is because of the first detour, which is where they were running prior to the current detour, which is being, formalized with the service change. So there's another building further down. Again, that's going to be difficult to serve. But again, there's either 334, the one the Rex would perhaps do that one, and the 171 also, of course, there's a DLA. So that's an unfortunate operational issue. It's due to gate closures really. As far as the 351 and 352, again, that's due to the closure of the access road. It's purely due to that. When we started these routes, we based it on the assumption that these access road, the metro access road and the gate would be open. It's not been open on a regular basis, so we've been having to unfortunately detour it. I would like to point out that the 334 also serves the NVCC Medical Campus and the TSA. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ed. And Mr. Hertel, I see you are still here, and let me trying to unmute you here, and I'm just having to mute. My thing is being squirrely. Okay, let's try it that way. Change. All right. Mr. Hertel, I'm sorry, I apologize. Sometimes Teams is a little tricky for us. I'm trying to unmute you, but it's not. Let me try one more thing, and I apologize. Let's see if that will work. I apologize for the technical issues. We've had this problem before. Unfortunately, we're not the designers. I apologize. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Let's see if we can get this squared away. So it's allowing the mic, but for some reason, Mr. Hertel, it's not letting me unmute you again. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try one more thing. Are you unmuted? No. Are you unmuted now? Nope. Guess not. Okay. Mr. Hertel, can you lower your hand and then try to raise it again, and let's see if that helps. I apologize. And then try one more time, and then hopefully that will work. Go ahead and raise your hand again, and I can answer you, but for some reason it's being difficult. Okay, so I'm assuming you don't have another question. Is that correct? Oh gosh, I hope it's the case. Are there any other questions? Sometimes it's a little clunky, and here we see. Let's see if we can.
Yes, I have a question on that.
Oh, go for it. There you go. We can hear you. It's just not, I apologize. It's just not showing us as unmuted on my side of things. So I apologize for the confusion. Anyway, please go ahead.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Busha Ezdin, yes, and I have a concern about the buses. I sent several requests and the concern. We live in Reston, and my son goes to Nova, and it's really hard for them to get to Nova campus, the one in London. Every day, it takes him like over 2 hours, 3 buses just to go from distance that usually by car is like 10, 15 minutes from Reston to Nova, London County and Northern campus. So I want to know if there is any way that you can make it easier for the students, because I can't afford to have a second car, low income,
Sure.
single mom. So he's been struggling this year to go to Nova, like 2 hours in the morning. The class starts
Yeah.
at 9:30, and he has to leave home by 6:45 to get there on time. Same thing back, when he finished at 4. So he's gonna take him another 2 hours. It
So,
used to be a shuttle from Reston to London. So is there any way, or buses straight to go there, please?
so
It
I just want to
takes
confirm,
9:50.
I'm sorry, I just want to confirm you're talking about from Reston to the Loudon Nova campus, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So that's the 963. Ed,
No.
or Kyle, did you want to respond? I don't know if we were able to hear it. Were you able to hear her whole question? Were you able to understand?
He takes from
You're just kind of
Reston
quiet.
the RIB.
Go ahead.
He takes from Reston the RIB 2, I think, or 4 to Reston Town Center. Then he takes the 950, and then the he takes the first one, RIB 4, then the 950, then the 924. 3 buses for one destination.
Huh. Ed, or Kyle, did you have a response or maybe another way that her son could be doing this a little differently?
I would go, Kyle.
No, I was just going to say that that's something that we can do an analysis and examine what the ridership patterns are, and see where people are coming from on this. But yeah, I was going to suggest the 924. But go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, 924 is the route that goes there. I mean, obviously, it could be, when you have it that changed more than once, perhaps the schedules don't always line up, but it does, is intended to connect with routes in Herndon, and it goes to Herndon Metro, so we'll connect with routes from there. But unfortunately, again, we can't sort of provide the ideal one-seat ride for everybody. This service to NVCC Loudon was started about a year and a half ago or just over. The ridership's growing. We don't have a huge ridership as of yet to that location, but there are people that are taking it. Before we started the changes in that area, people couldn't get there at all from Fairfax County. So again, we're not able to offer sort of direct service to all of our passengers. We like to, offer the best service we can to the majority of our passengers. And again, as Kyle said, it's something we could look into in a future change. We might be able to make a alignment change. I'm not quite sure how at this point, but we constantly evaluate our network, and that's certainly something we could evaluate, based on the demands and the patterns that we have. So I think something we'll look into in the future, in the next couple of years, probably.
Excuse me. So he's been taking this route he's taken the 924 since August. And since he started before August, we've been calling Fairfax Connector. So this is the route that they gave us, 3 buses. We tried all the ways. I sent several requests and complaints to Fairfax Connector directly to you guys, but no response. I filled the survey. It's not only my son's concern. I understand you are not going to accommodate one person, but it's a group of students. Nova couldn't interfere, couldn't do anything because they say this is out of our control. You need to contact Fairfax County, Fairfax Connector, because it's 3 buses for a short distance. That's really a lot. And I'm just trying to motivate him to go, but I'm afraid that one day he's going to give up and he's not going to want to go to college anymore just because of the 2 hours driving. So it's Reston just to London County, 15 minutes drive by car. It can be longer by the bus, but not 3 buses. RIBS 4, then 950, and then the 924.
Ma'am, it's Kayla again. I just want to confirm that the number I see on the screen here is your phone number, and if so, I can share
Correct.
that with our team. Okay, great. What we'll do is I'm very concerned that you have made several complaints and that has not been responded. That is not typical for us, and I'm not quite sure why that is, but I'd like to find out, and let's follow up with you directly. Plus, our planning
Okay.
team would probably like to have your information if they want to talk with you offline and
Yeah.
make sure we understand fully what you're focused on and what we're trying to achieve. I will say this, since I've been with Connector, and it's been about 9 years, almost a decade now, the planning team has done a really great job of trying to add access to as many schools, Nova campuses. I mean, we really are trying to add as much as we can, as quickly as we can, given the budget that's available. So we definitely are concerned that they definitely want to try to work with you and take your feedback, and let's see what we can do. But obviously we'll do the best we can, and I'll make sure we reach back out to you and find out some more
I
information
appreciate
about the complaints, because you are supposed to receive a follow-up response, and I'm not quite sure why
Yeah.
that hasn't happened. But let me call you. Let me call you maybe after this meeting, if that's okay, and then we can
Yeah.
discuss.
Yes.
Would that be all right
That's
with
fine.
you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
that's fine, because I
Thank you
reached out
so.
to the phone complaints and then the emails and the survey. Okay, waiting for your call.
I'll also check with our staff at DOT Info, and then also the Fairfax Connector page. So I will also find out what's going on. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much for your feedback. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mhm.
Are there any other questions? And we really appreciate the feedback, because when we, as I can tell you, we take this feedback seriously, and the planning team always goes back to the drawing board and tries to take a look and make adjustments as appropriate. So we do try to react and accommodate as many of our customers as we can. Obviously, our goal is to provide transportation for you in a timely fashion. Are there any other questions for this lunch and learn today? Please don't be shy. Raise your hand. All righty, there we go, Mr. Hotel. All right, Mr. Hotel, can you check and speak and see if I can hear you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great, fantastic. I'm so sorry.
No, sorry, I was listening to the responses. I just had to take care of my dog. I do
No problem.
apologize.
I apologize.
Anyway, so one of my concerns is, and it kind of harkens back to the previous lady, which is connectivity. One of the things is I would urge you design it with, because when I was when I did the was and when I looked at why people use mass transit, it really has to be convenient. And one of the problems is it really isn't. To give you an example, my wife, there used to be a bus that ran from Pentagon, straight Powhatan Street, Washington Street, Route 1, and straight down to Fort Belvoir. A whole host of people took it from Alexandria and took it down to Fort Belvoir to work there. And then all of a sudden, it had to meander around all over the place, and now goes through Delray, Braddock Metro Station, and all sorts of things. And I think what the bus system has become is a catch-all, if you will. It's trying to serve, for instance, one of the circulators you had connected all the shopping centers, but there really wasn't anything in the center that caught it, which is, I would urge you to think in terms of making it usable. Just to give you an example, I live in Mount Vernon, and I had to take mass transit to Tysons Corner. That was a 3-hour trip. And what you're ending up with is, as the lady previously said, people are just abandoning mass transit and going into cars when we live out here, because the bus system has to be the feeder system out here in our community, Fairfax, because we don't have metro system, if you will. We do, but it's not alone. And I hate to take up your time, but I would just urge you, there are several studies that show when people decide it's not worth taking mass transit. And I used them a lot in the city of Alexandria when I was on the transportation commission there, and we created the BRT plan for the city. And so it's quite important and imperative that due consideration above all else is this bus convenient for people? Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hertel. I do want to emphasize that this particular meeting is focused on very specific changes, but I do think if you were to go to our website, if you're able to, we are making a lot of changes on June 22nd to exactly what you're speaking to. We're really trying to make that connectivity faster, cheaper, better overall. And I don't know, Kyle, or Ed, did you want to elaborate on that? And I know we've got a couple more questions, so I'll definitely get to you guys here. I just wanted to give our planning team an opportunity to respond if possible.
Yeah, I would just echo those sentiments and say that we are certainly looking to improve connectivity. Like Kayla said, we have a major service change coming up on June 22nd. That's the CCVT phase 1. What we discussed today was phase 2, but these service changes are going to dramatically increase connectivity and also just really reshape the way that transit looks in the county with 2 new transit centers, Monument Drive Transit Center and Springfield CVC Commuter Garage. And so if you're not familiar with that, then I would certainly urge that you go to our website and familiarize yourself with these changes. And, you know, all I can say is that we certainly try to do the best we can with the resources that we have. So
I just want to elaborate further, just so you all know, starting around June 1st, we will be out for those CCVT changes, the Centreville, Chantilly, Vienna, Tysons, Springfield. There's also a little Reston in there too. We will be out with street teams, handing out flyers, providing information. We're hitting the meadows of Chantilly. We're hoping to put door hangers on everyone's door so everybody's aware of the changes with options to find out more information. We're going to be, you know, we've obviously updated our schedules. We'll have resources and information at libraries, community centers, government offices. They will be everywhere to sort of see all the different changes that are being that are happening. But we're really excited about the lift on that particular change because it really will be a game changer. We're also going to be doing a major media campaign. So if you will be hearing about these upcoming changes and the addition of these 2 new garages to our area starting around June 15th, and it will continue until essentially the 30th of June. So about 2 weeks, you'll hear it everywhere, radio, TV. You won't be able to search the internet for bus without seeing an ad for this particular change. So I just wanted to kind of, even though this is not the focus of this particular meeting, I just wanted to elaborate on that and let you know that there are some other options. I'd like to go on to our next guest, Eddie. Would you like to offer some feedback?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh yes, good afternoon. My name is Eddie Sandova. I'm calling myself as an advocate from myself and to represent the whole community of the Surrey district and represent to everyone in Fairfax County and to everyone from the ARC as a volunteer and to everyone from ECMB of Independence in Norfolk Virginia to our Norfolk Virginia. I'd like to make a comment about the Fairfax Connector about the issue to see. The truth is that I'm going to be honest, you might not get like it. So there's 2 things that I should say to you. Like, You might get a really good one, or that other one you're not gonna like it. Trust me, I don't want you to feel disappointed or to be more your voice said than I, or you're not gonna make the voices or not happy, or they'll learn to be not to be a naysayer for that. And I'm gonna the first one to be a good or bad news to tell you. The first one is this is a great opportunity for what would you do if a elaborate to connection activity of connecting point A to point B of the buses? You see, I've been doing a lot of lobbying to every district, including Surrey District, Hunter District, Janesville District, and Providence District, and the Springfield District, and the Chairman Office, and the Barrack District, and the Lee District, and the Mason District, and to Mount Vernon District, to everyone supervisor, the town, to the town. See, I've been running a lot of buses to every district, and it's very good. But the problem is, they have got to do a lot of improvement in all the buses because it's not fair to me and to others, people with disability, and to people commuters are not happy because my area, which is in where I live, and to everyone for our disability community, have hard time getting to the buses because their transit folks are not accessible or not make it hard for me and to others, and to be realistic, those buses don't need to be, that has to change. It means we're pushing away these young adults and to everyone in that community, Fairfax. We're pushing away the next generation because they don't thinking that they don't have any, their buses they don't want to offer. It's not fair for them. And this is one you might not go like, that's why is the county folks are doing this. I know the county folks, trust me, you're not gonna like it. Why is the Cal Davis and other staff, including everyone supervisors who just says, okay, we're gonna do this and this, but to this, I really don't like it. Not because that, I just feel like I've been not untrustworthy or I just don't like it because all I want is to become an advocate and to help out the community and to everyone else and to people for disability and to attach to a next generation of the communities. I don't want to make it happy for them without that disappoint them. And I know whoever listening, this is my voice to say to you guys. I don't want to be discouraged about that. So that's what I have to say. And one more thing, P.S. Please fix the connectivity when it's peace connectivity to fix the bus systems of our county because the county system is weak and needs to be fixed to adapt. And that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandoval. I know you're a regular visitor for our meetings, and we definitely appreciate your feedback. Kyle, I just wanted to mention to Mr. Sandoval, we are making a significant effort to make sure we get out to your community because we've talked previously. We'll also be at the shopping center right next door, so that anybody from your community happens to be shopping over there, we're going to be available. And I'm happy to, we'll be publicizing on social media and the website and other locations where we'll be and when. So we definitely appreciate engaging with you, and hopefully we can see you when we're out directly in your community to make sure. But Kyle, did you have anything else? I just wanted to add that piece to Mr. Sandoval.
No, I think that you said a lot of what I was going to say, which is that I certainly appreciate your feedback, Mr. Sandoval, and we appreciate hearing from you and from your community, and we appreciate what it is that you do as an advocate. As I said before, we certainly try to improve connectivity and reliability to the best of our abilities. We do have resource constraints, unfortunately, but we put in a lot of hard work to evaluate, to monitor, to really improve the system to the best that we can.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I want to get to another person who hasn't asked a question. It looks like Rain. Pardon, I have a complicated name too. So Rain Nabi. I think you're unmuted here. So go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Great. Thank you.
You can just call me Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. Okay, great. I apologize.
No problem. That's fine. I was also listening on the discussion about Nova. I'm also a student at Nova. I've completed my first year, and I also do not have a car, cannot drive. I rely on Fairfax Connector daily. Uh, I take the same route, 9:15 to 9:24, and it takes me over 2 hours to get to Nova. So for me, as a student, I take morning classes, and I can't be taking 2 hours to get to an early morning class that starts at 8 a.m. And without a car, I don't have any other choice. I've had to take Ubers before, which, I take a lot of money, for 4 days a week. I want to take Uber, the money I'm trying to save to go to, Mason. I'm trying to go, further my education at Mason. And this relying on Fairfax connectors caused me a lot of issues. While I understand it's a necessity for me and it's better than having nothing at all, but at the same time, taking like over 2 hours just to get to school every day is exhausting, and it's really it's hard for me. So when I heard I'm not the only one, I also have friends that need to take the bus and unable to take by car. They can't carpool, is because we live far off from Loudoun. And if I want to go to further my education, and even just if it's hard enough to get to Nova, it's going to be impossible for me to get to any other college. And I literally physically won't be able to finish my education. And another point is when the strike happened with Fairfax Connector, as being, since I literally only took the buses, when the strike happened for 2 weeks, I had literally no way to get to school. I had to go into my money that I've been saving up just to put money into taxis and Ubers just so I could get to my classes there and back. So if it could have, like, if like a route shut down, or there was a strike like that, it was like disastrous for me. And I feel like there's no convenient public transportation for like low income families. Like, I understand there's been a lot of progress, and I saw like there's a new route 921 that's supposed to cut down on the time and the issues. But just kind of to voice my experience, and since there was also another person feeling the same as me, I just want to see, and I just want to really reach out there, that this is a real issue with a lot of us who can't afford cars or struggling with transportation. And we want like a easier, and instead of having to take 2 hours with 3 buses, just for there to be an easier way that, and reliable way for us to get to school.
Ryan, thanks so much for that feedback. Kyle, did you have a response? And I do want to tell Ryan about and talk to people about the TRIP program, because that may help some folks here too.
Okay, yeah. This is something that, like I said, we can certainly evaluate and look into. We do have our resource constraints, but it's something that we certainly will look into, given the feedback that we've received here. We'll look into it.
Yeah, and when Kyle says we look into it, it's not just I promise you, we're not just dismissing your comment.
No, it's really
he really does mean that he will look into it. So
Right.
please understand and just stay tuned when you, for future public meetings, we try to get the word out as best we can, just for people to join us. We have another meeting later this week in the evening for anybody who couldn't make it during the daytime. We're just trying to provide as much flexibility as possible, but certainly, Ryan, I completely understand, and it's something I know that we have been adding to. It's just, we're just trying to do a lot with this, with what we have. So, but I want to talk really quickly for anybody here on this call who may have a caseworker with the county or qualify for food stamps or any other services with the county. If you receive services from the county, you're automatically eligible for a TRIP card. It's the Transit Ridership Incentive Program. This is a grant we've received from the Commonwealth of Virginia to help subsidize transit. In addition, Neighborhood and Community Services has a debit card that they will provide with up to $100 per quarter to use to either transfer to your trip card so that you can get 50% off Connector, to transfer to use that on any type of it could be used for Uber, it could be used for Lyft, it could be used for Metro Rail, it could be used for anything that you want to that's transportation related, including Capital Bike Share. So if you want to ride the bike somewhere, you can even use it for that. And that just requires a $20 investment. So you give them $20, they load $100 onto your TOPS card, and then you can use that TOPS card for anything that you want. And I just want to make sure that, you know, we started this program about a year or so ago, and it's been a little more complicated to get started because we're using Smart Trip and having to work through some of the technical issues. But we are now ready to expand this out to the entire community. So we're going to be working with FCPS and Neighborhood Community Services, Department of Family Services, like all these different agencies within the county, as well as the supervisors' offices, to try to get this information out to the people who need it, because this is a real value, I think, and will help everybody who really needs help with that. So Ryan, I hope, you know, I obviously don't want you to disclose any personal information, but I wanted to make you aware of that. And, you know, I'm happy if you want to send an email to the email here, the Fairfax Connector at fairfaxconnector.com, with any more details or any of your personal information so that we can follow up with you directly. We certainly can. So I would encourage you to do that, and certainly take the survey if you can as well. Does that hopefully that helps a few people who might be having experiencing challenges with payment for service, et cetera. But obviously, you know, planning will continue to look into the connectivity to our colleges and universities in the area, because we do have quite a few. So thank you so much for bringing that to our attention, Ryan. And the woman at 579, I apologize, I didn't catch her name, but thank you so much for reporting the feedback. And I just want to make sure you know that Mr. Davis is not being dismissive at all. He will definitely take a look at what's happening. Okay, we have another question from Mr. Sandoval. Would you like to share another question? Hold on, let me. All right, there you go, Mr. Sandoval. Go ahead.
Is my hand up?
Yeah, it is. Did you have another comment or question? If not, I can lower your.
No.
I'll lower your hand for you.
Yeah, my bad, but no,
Okay.
it's okay. Just okay. I was wondering if you're out there, to every Fairfax County citizens and to every citizen of Fairfax County, one has to speak up, because if you don't, we can't make a change. I don't know if Kyle Davis knows it, if he's aware of it. I want to know Kyle Davis to encourage to come visit the ECND program, and from the ARC, and to every community for disability who has disabilities, to come to have their stories and see their challenges, how they overcome with the transportation issues. And I want us to talk to every supervisors of other districts to come and to invite them to go over the neighborhoods, go over the canvassing over Fairfax County citizens, and to everyone to discuss this, to make their voices heard, and they want it, because if we don't, we can't demand what we want. So we demand for Cal Davis and other staff from Michael Faster to every elected officials, every officials there. That's their job. They have to do what the best that they could. If we don't, I get it from the community that it will be met at the expectations. And that I don't want. And we know Cal Davis, just to be honest, does he really care, or he doesn't care?
Yes, I absolutely. I absolutely do, Mr. Sandoval. I'm not when I say that we are going to evaluate these issues, I really do mean it. We really are going to take a look and see what it is that we can possibly do in order to improve your situation, and not just your situation, but the situation for others as well. People who have made very legitimate complaints, both today and just in general. So certainly our heart is in the right place, and we certainly do care, and we certainly do want to help the riders of Fairfax County as best as we can. That's why we do what we do every day.
Great. And Mr. Sandoval,
That's right, Fire. Just because the reason why is I just telling you to the phone that because to make the people think what they're thinking. That's what I was quizzing you to what the people are thinking. Just quizzing you.
Mr. Sandoval, I want to ask one more question and clarify. When you're talking about ARC, you're talking about ARC of Northern Virginia, correct? You would, is that correct? The Autism Resource Center? Okay.
Virginia.
Yeah, just so you know, we
Yeah.
have been advancing our student bus pass program to students with special needs. I'm very close to the special needs community, so I'm very involved in the autism community and other communities as well. So I believe me when I say our heart's in the right place, and you know, especially for those of us who have close family who need these services. So we've been trying to make a lot of extra effort on the marketing side to make sure we're going out and helping individuals learn how to ride the buses, learn how to navigate the system, and starting at a much younger age, starting at like the high school at 9th grade level. And of course, we do have the student bus pass program for all kids 7th through 12th grade. So we are making efforts and strides into reaching out to as many communities as possible and making sure that they feel that we're here for them and that we've got them and that we're going to do the best we can, because we do understand fully that these individuals who have disabilities or have special needs, they are not always able to drive or get a driver's license. So you are where our thoughts are when we're trying to design these systems and to communicate the changes and to provide services to help as many people as we can with the resources that we have available. So thank you very, very much for that feedback. And like I said, we will be in touch and work together. Okay. All right. I know we're at the end of our time. We have about 4 minutes left in our scheduled time frame. Are there any other last questions before I discuss the end of the presentation instructions? All right. So it looks like none. All right, so we have now come to the end of our meeting. If you didn't get a chance to provide feedback or prefer to submit feedback online, please visit the Fairfax Connector December 7th, 2024 proposed service change webpage and fill out the online survey. Comments will be accepted through May 28th, 2024. We did add some additional questions in the survey a few days after posting it originally in an effort to capture more feedback on the proposed bus fare increase, although we haven't really heard much about that today. The Board of Supervisors will vote on this measure in June 2024. All public comments will be provided to the Board of Supervisors. You can also reach us at 703-877-5600. That will allow you to connect with our planning department. You can email comments to Fairfax Connector at fairfaxconnector.com. The survey is available at fairfaxconnector.com. If you prefer to mail a comment, you can certainly do so at Fairfax County Department of Transportation. It's on the screen here. So if you want to take a screenshot or just take a picture of it with your phone, you want to send it to Attention Transit Planning, CCVT 2, Fairfax Connector, 4050 Legato Road, Fairfax, Virginia. And then also finally by phone, this is our Customer Information Center at 703-339-7200. If you require a TTY service, that's also available here at 703-339-1608. So again, thank you everyone for attending this meeting. We do have another meeting scheduled for Thursday evening at 7 p.m. That will be promoted and available on our website. And we will post the recording of this particular presentation on our website so that other people can hear your questions and hear the presentation and respond accordingly. So Kyle, did you have any last thoughts?
No,
share?
I just want to thank everyone for your feedback. We truly do appreciate it, and hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for coming and have a wonderful day.
Thank you all.